Good Girls Get Rich, the conversations. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Girls Get Rich, the conversations. I'm your host, Tanya English, and I'm so excited about this new format. We changed to this new format of creating live episodes for the Good Girls Get Rich podcast because I felt like there were times where I'm like having it. I just did a podcast interview, like where somebody interviewed me, and I felt like there's so many places where you might want to just jump into the conversation, right? Maybe ask a question. And instead of like DMing us after, you can actually be part of this podcast. So I'm trying, we're trying it. It's kind of maybe more interactive. If you're here live, we would love for you to jump in with your questions. But I want to tell you a little bit about our guest today. I am here with Dr. Tanya English. Dr. Tanya English is amazing. I've known her for a few years now. She is known as the Soul Chiropractor. She's a transformational speaker, a chiropractor, an energy healer. She helps women move from grief to grace by releasing emotional patterns stored in the body and the nervous system. She's got over 35 years experience. She blends anatomy, physiology, and quantum energy healing to support deep healing, trauma release, spiritual alignment. And she really specializes in working with women navigating loss, burnout, life transitions. She experienced a stillbirth of her first child, and she discovered this healing power of blues music. So that's now central to the work that she does. And her signature work is called Healing with the Blues. So there's so much we have here to talk about, but I want to bring on Dr. Tanya English to hang out with us today and tell us more. Thank you so much for doing this. Sure. I'm so excited to have you here. Tanya's been a guest on our show on the main Good Girls Get Rich podcast before. So we'll link to that in the show notes later if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube later on. But yeah, we're here live every Wednesday at noon Eastern on LinkedIn with these new conversations. So Tanya, thank you for being here. This is really only our second guest that we're having doing this. So we're still kind of getting the bugs out a little bit.
Big number two.
Yeah, I think we're good. Tanya, thanks for doing this. What did I not tell people in this intro about you?
Well, there's a lot that led up to all of that happening because I went into chiropractic college when I was 30. So I had already done undergraduate school at Boston University School of Theater Arts. I was a production major, so I did all the production type of things, plus acting as well. Cool. And then I kind of dropped all of that and went to massage school. It turned out there was one a couple of blocks from my apartment in Boston. And I thought, I'll just try a couple of really difficult classes, and I loved it. It was, I took nutrition and A&P, anatomy and physiology. So I took those two classes and I was like, oh, this is really fascinating. And I had been doing theater since I was 15. So I was kind of ready for a break. And I just got led into that. And in fact, I put it out there, it'd be cool to find a massage school near me. God, can you work that out? Sure enough, there's one 3 blocks from my apartment. So it was like, okay, well, then I'm going to do this. And then I moved to the Swedish Institute in Manhattan, which is the first school of massage in this country, founded by Ling, who's the guy who developed Swedish massage. And so I went there and graduated in 87. So I've been doing healing since 1986.
So it's so funny because you're like, and I was doing theater and then I took anatomy and physiology. Like I never took anatomy and physiology, but I remember my college days where like when my friends had anatomy and physiology, that was the biggest nightmare course ever,
And you also younger when they're in college. I was older.
And they're like, and you're right. And you're like, and I took anatomy and physiology. Like it was no big deal. I mean, I think it's a pretty freaking big deal that you did this. And Tanya, what I love about you is that you bring that chiropractic work you do, the Eastern and Western stuff together.
Yeah.
And I love me some good Reiki, right? But we can get Reiki treatments from somebody that went to somebody that may or may not be qualified to certify them and get some Reiki treatment done, right? Which and again, no disrespect. I'm a Reiki master and I have absolutely no background in any of this, right? So so I'm not disrespecting that. I'm saying what I love about you is that you really bring the knowledge, the Western medicine along with you when you talk about Eastern medicine.
Well, the Western philosophy is wait until something happens and then we'll go figure it out. And the Eastern is let's keep you going in this direction so you don't have to have the valley and then climb the peak and then the valley,
Gosh.
which
Yeah.
is such a Western way of thinking of it, is like we're going to take everything apart so we can see what the little minutia is. And Eastern is let's observe what's going on all around us to see how is this affecting us, which makes much more sense to me. I mean, it always did. Why
Right.
would you want to take things apart? In fact, I was thinking about this morning because I knew we were going to talk about this a little bit, but what Western medicine says that what I do isn't scientific, and I would say what they do isn't very scientific because they give you a drug
Interesting.
and then they say, well, let's see how this works. What's scientific about that? That's just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Oh,
Right.
we're going to try this
Right.
drug on you. We're going to try this drug. They never muscle test, which will your body will tell if it's for it or not. There's all kinds of stuff that we do that's very scientific that they don't really see that. So what I always like to tell people is if they say, no, I don't need to come and see you, I feel good. And I say, how do you know that's as good as you can feel?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I have um my own perspective on this is that I want all the Eastern medicine or the Eastern energies. Like I love
Mhm.
energy medicine. And it's not that I wouldn't use Western medicine, but I remember one time I had a
Yeah.
chiropractor, I'm not a chiropractor, an acupuncturist that I absolutely loved. And I went to her one time and I was so sick. I was like coughing. I was sick as a dog. And she's got me laying on the table with all these needles in me. And she's like, you need a freaking chest x-ray. And I'm like, I go, I know, I know. She's like, no, she's like, you need to go. I'm going to make you an appointment. I was like, all right, here's the deal. It's like Wednesday. Give me all the needles. Like, give me all the needles to help me heal this. And if it's not better by Friday, I promise you I will go for a chest x-ray. And it was better by Friday. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
had, and I'm not, maybe it would have been better by Friday anyway. I
There's
don't
all
know. But
kinds of things that we
I
can
would
do.
definitely go if I needed to. Right. But I want
Yeah.
to, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Tell me what you were
No,
just
it's
going to
okay.
say.
I was interrupting you. We just do that because we're Jersey girls. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Um, we just talk over each other. Um, no, I was going to say, like, what people do is they wait until they possibly can't. They have to have this whatever input right now instead of finding where things are good and then keeping them that way. So
Yeah.
the Eastern way is your doctor's not doing your job if you get sick. The
Well,
Western way is you wait till you get sick before you go to the doctor. Now,
and here's the thing.
really,
Our
a lot of
our
energy lost
our
that way.
audience and a lot of the people we hang out with are entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And it's not like we have a bank of sick days we can use.
Mm-mm.
I'm sick. I'm going to take a week
That's right.
off and take antibiotics and I'm going to take my sick days. We don't have that. Like,
Mm-mm.
boy, do I sometimes wish I could take a sick day, right? Like, but we don't have that ability. So I think that's why I wanted to have this conversation on this show is because I
Mhm.
think many of the people that listen to this show understand that and they understand the importance of staying healthy versus getting healthy and how that dysregulation of our health actually impacts our income.
Oh,
Don't you
huge,
don't you
huge.
think?
If I'm not working, I'm not making money. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I'd like have other side things going on, but I'm my career. This is me.
Right.
And
Right.
so when I look at what do? I have a massage therapist, I have a sound healer, I have a
Oh my gosh, I
chiropractor.
love that.
I have actually more than one massage therapist that I go to. You know, I have to keep at this level of health in some way, shape, or form so that I can perform for everybody
I
because
love
they're not
that.
going to wait. So I have a team around me. And not only are they helping me, and we're also gathering every so often. We have a gathering. We call it our coven. We're not really witches though,
Cool.
but
Cool.
but we have a gathering. We just had one last week, and just for us to be together and to share and have a good time, not really focus on one thing, but that gathering. One of our members had a death in the family, and so she needed support. So we were all there to support her, And those kinds of things, especially for women, you have to have a support group and you have to be able to call them together when you need them. And that's what we're building here, because there are so many times when we're isolated. I'm a solopreneur. There's nobody, I don't have a team around me to, run my business when I'm not well. I'm doing that.
Right.
So it's really important to not only that, but to deal with the emotional grit that we have from all of life landing on us and generations of stuff landing on us. And that's what I primarily work with when I'm doing energy healing. I'm clearing away what's in the subconscious that is not necessary and is not in present time and doesn't need to be in present time, influencing your behavior for no apparent reason. That's what we're all about, because when we do that, then we can really be in full-blown health and life force is running. I went and got adjusted the other day. I was way overdue and I need to get adjusted. And I went to somebody who does completely different techniques than I do. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just get it done. And when I'm working with people, they ask me, well, what does this have to do with chiropractic? I'm like, well, okay, let's talk about this for a second. When you have a bone that's out of place, the chiropractor puts the bone back where it belongs. So it's moving easily. They're supposed to move easily. The joints are supposed to move easily. All the vertebrae are supposed to move easily, but not out of place where they get stuck. People that crack their neck all the time, they're moving the vertebrae that can move, but not the one that needs to.
Oh,
so that's why they have to do it over and over again, because they're not getting the thing done that needs to be done.
Wow.
So it feels like a nice relief, but they're still not that's why they have to keep doing it. So when we're getting adjusted, the bones are being pulled out of place by the muscles, and the muscles are under subconscious control. You're not telling your neck muscles what to do.
Right.
You're not telling your infraspinatus muscle what to do. You're not telling it. It's subconscious. And what's running your subconscious? Your emotions. So if you have an emotion that's running that physiology, because each emotion has its own physiology, energy and emotion has its own physiology, and that physiology is running in subconsciously, you're not aware of it in your conscious mind, then it's running subconsciously. That's what I'm going after.
Yeah.
When I was sitting in chiropractic college and I said, but why does the bone get pulled out of place? And they would give me three things. They'd give me toxins, something poisonous, trauma, could be stepping off a curb wrong or being in a car accident, and thoughts. But what they didn't put in there was timing, the fourth one. Your body is running something at the wrong time. Something that happened when you were 3, still running while you're 53. Not good. Yeah. So those traumas get memorized, especially if there's intense emotion. Everything goes in. It doesn't come back out again.
Right.
So it's running. And after, 50 years of running that physiology, do you think it might get a little worn out?
Well, not only that, Tanya and we were born on the exact same day, right? So, we were born on the exact same day. So I can tell you, and you let me know.
I'm older though, by the way.
Really? By a couple of, I was born at like 5 a.m. Every year it gets a little harder. Feeling good at this age is a little bit more work than feeling good when I was 30, and I'm not complaining, because it's just lucky to be as healthy as I am.
All those emotions running under the subconscious. Yeah. It's like a lot of burden.
So I love when I have a day where I'm firing on all cylinders, you know what I mean? And I'm productive, but there are definitely days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't get this done or that done. I want to do this. I want to do that. Or my back hurts. So I really wanted to go for a walk. My knee was like, I have more of those days than I would like to have. And it just I don't see that, changing a whole lot as I get older, because I do spend a lot of time trying to stay healthy.
Well, you need some consistent care, Karen.
I do have consistent, believe me, I do have consistent care, but I say that to say that, I like to choose when I want to work and when I want to play. And if I want to be able to do that, I need to be creating an environment where my body will show up when I need my body to show up, and my brain will show up when I want my brain to show up. And that's why I feel like every year that goes by, it's even more important that I work on taking care of Karen than the year
Yes.
before.
I've
So
said it
so
three
that I can
times
pick and
yesterday.
choose.
I said it 3 times to 2 different patients. Your job, your first job, the first job that you have is to take care of you. One of
Right.
those patients is going through cancer diagnosis and has been outliving their diagnosis. And yesterday we did a new technique with her called MAP, which I would love to tell you about. And
Yeah.
she felt so much lighter when she left. And I checked in with her later and she's like, this is good. This is really good. When we do that, when we don't, well, let me say this, when we suppress our emotions, when we don't allow ourselves to feel them or express them in a safe way, they come out in another way. Now, this person told me over and over again, I was responsible for everybody. I was the oldest.
I was
Everybody else came
You are
first. I'm
reading
a
my
people
mind right
pleaser.
now. Right.
She's dealing with cancer because all of that was turned in. I said, liver cancer is really a lot about anger. Can you imagine being a kid and saying you're responsible for these other children? Like, what? How much
Right.
anger would you have about not being able to be a kid anymore and
Right.
growing up too young? It
Right.
happens to a lot of us. It happens for generations of us. And what I'm trying to tell people is when you make a vow, like I just read this from a friend the other day, I'll never forgive myself. I said, watch out. Making a vow of never forgiving yourself is going to land on your kids because you're walking around with that and they're going to
Oof,
pick it
that
up.
hit. Right. That
It's
hits.
true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous to say things like, I'll never forgive myself, because when you say that, you're making a vow to be in punishment constantly for the rest of your life. No, God doesn't want that for you. And when people don't understand that there's an infinite
Right.
ocean of love for us, and they won't let themselves be in that infinite ocean of love because they're punishing themselves, how much punishment is that going to take? Another 5 weeks? Another
Right.
5 months? How long do you want to do this?
Right.
And he said, but I keep paying for it over and over again. I'm like, because you won't let yourself up off the mat. You've
Right.
got yourself pinned and you won't let yourself up because what you
Right.
did was so heinous. I've been there. I've done awful things I won't tell you about. But I've gone to the person. I've asked for forgiveness. I've then told them, okay, I'm done talking about this. We don't ever have to speak of this again. Is that okay with you? Yes, that's okay with me. Fine. It's not because what I did was okay. It's because I'm detaching my emotional life from that instance.
So important. If you're watching us live, I'd love for you to jump in and tell us what you're doing for self-care to keep your body healthy and your mind healthy as you go through your journey, your entrepreneurial journey or your professional journey. I'd love to hear about what you're up to because it'll help us understand where to take this conversation.
Mhm.
But Tanya, I think as, thinking about our entrepreneur friends and our professional friends, like well, you hit on it when you talked about like we're when you get up in the morning and you take a shower and you jump in the car and you go to work, you're at work, right? People maybe hesitate to bother you. Maybe they hesitate to call you because they're worried that you're going to get in trouble from your boss or whatever. But when you're sitting in your house or you're
My home
whatever,
office.
right? Like, and like I went yesterday, I had to bring my mom something and my mom is in an independent living facility and a lot of her care is on me and my sister, but I went there and I constantly go and they have dinner at 4:30. I'm always going in the middle of their dinner. And I said, it's because like my day doesn't finish till 5 o'clock,
Right.
and then I had to stop at the drugstore and then I had to stop here and to bring you this. It's not because I want to interrupt your dinner all the time. It's because my mom called me the other day and I was driving home from an appointment and she's like, well, where are you? I was like, driving home from Westchester. I had a client this afternoon,
Yeah.
so I say that to say, like, there are a lot of people, whether it's our parents or our kids or our partners, as we get older, they're all getting older,
Yep.
and we are still trying to create boundaries around our business
Yeah.
and be successful so that we can, provide what it is we want to provide to ourselves and to our loved ones, right? Whatever we're doing all of this for. Um, we can say that, well, we shouldn't have all of this on us, but we do.
Yeah, we
right? We
do.
do. I
You're not
choose
going to
all of this.
escape
I
it.
choose all of this. I choose to want to
I
babysit my
got to spend
grandkids.
2 hours with my dad at the VA yesterday.
Right.
He's 93. We went to his geriatric appointment, and it's time well spent for the two of us to
Right.
have time together. But it's also like that's what I upped for that. I said, sure,
Right.
I'll do this. I'll do
Right.
this. I'll bring him out to Iowa, and he can live here and enjoy life. And he's like, I'm ready for an adventure. I'm like, oh, Dad.
Be careful
Let's
what you
talk
wish
about
for.
that.
Right. So, okay. So
So yeah, we're the sandwich. We've got older kids who
yeah.
who are having children. We have grandchildren. They live on both coasts. We have to travel if we want to see them. That's another thing. My dad's here. If I leave, is there somebody that's going to check on him?
Right.
That kind of thing. It's a lot of logistics of just
Right.
running your life,
Right.
not
Right.
just your business on top of it.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot. But here's the thing, it's like I'm always looking for the simplest, most elegant, most easiest, calmest way for people
Ease.
to do healing.
I'm sorry, ease.
Yeah.
I have this. If you're listening to this, I have a sign on my desk that says ease. It was my word of the year one year, a couple of years ago, but it's one that stuck around and stays on my desk because I deliberately try to build ease into my business and my life, just as Tanya's saying, and it has to be. I have to intentionally do that.
So what I've done is any technique that I do, any modality that I learn, it has to be easy. It has to be easy for the client and the patient. It has to be easy for me. And right now I'm doing MAP called MAP is a technique developed by Colette Stryker. And it is so simple and so easy to do. And I've been doing muscle testing and bioenergetic synchronization technique for over 20 years. I'm a master of that. This technique fits right in with that. MAP is great. And really, what does the person do? They just sit or they are lying down here, and I give their superconscious instructions. The superconscious is the same as the subconscious, but it's not sub to anything because it's running everything. So we call it the superconscious. So the superconscious is taking in everything around you. Your reticular activating system is filtering out 90% of what's going on around you because you can't pay attention to everything. And we're allowing your mind and your brain to do what it needs to do. It's called a reconsolidation. So instead of memories triggering you, you know that word triggering?
Yes.
Instead of memories triggering you, we break that bond. It doesn't mean the thing didn't happen. It means you're not emotionally attached to it anymore. And when superconscious does that, you're free. And so
Yeah.
people are telling me, oh, I feel so free. I feel so relaxed. I feel so much lighter. I feel joy. I want to get going. I'm so excited now. Whereas before, they were like, okay, I'll come in and get adjusted and we'll do some emotional work, but it won't have the same reaction because they're working too much during it. This is kind of what I'm seeing right now.
Yes.
These people. So I'm doing bioenergetic synchronization technique. We call it BEST for short. I'm
Okay.
doing BEST with people and I'm doing MAP with people. And what I'm seeing is that the less involved I am, the better they do. So
Wow.
that doesn't mean that I'm not doing something. I'm holding space. I'm holding their energy and space to be healing and for things to go smoothly. And I'm, holding their heart chakra open and those kinds of things. That's all intentional, intuitive and intentional. And that's when people have these profound changes. So this cancer person that I was working on yesterday, that she's suffering with this cancer and has been told over and over again how long she has. And I'm like, well, let's blow that out of the water. Well, I already did that. I'm like, well, let's do it again.
Right. Right.
What's stopping you? What else do you get to do? Nothing. I mean,
Right.
really, that's the question is, what else are you doing? Let's pare down all the doing and just bring up the being.
Oh
Because
gosh.
we are human
Feels
beings,
so
not
good.
human doings.
It feels so good.
Mhm.
All right, let's turn this back to like visibility. Because I do think that like I think in the world we live in, there are many women that are feeling a little unsafe being fully seen.
Yeah, I
Right.
think.
And they have me saying, you need more visibility. Right. So why do you think so many successful women are feeling unsafe being fully seen
It's
now
the
when they
patriarchy.
want that more visibility?
It's
I
the
know that.
patriarchy.
Right.
It's the
But
patriarchy.
but what can we do about that? Because if our voices are not
Yes.
getting out there, then we lose, right? Like, so we need to find a way to feel. I think that we need to find a way to
Okay.
feel safer
Are you are
when
you
we're being seen.
are you up for doing a little demonstration
I
here?
am
Okay,
always.
cool. So we'll do something called magnetization. This is part of map work that we do.
Okay.
So I'm going to say the sentence and I'm going to end it with, and it feels like, and you end it with the feelings that you have about it. So
Okay.
when I feel safe and it feels like, what does it feel like?
Peace,
I feel safe and it feels like,
joy,
I feel safe and it feels like,
love,
I feel safe and it feels like,
gratitude,
yeah, I feel safe and it feels like,
comfort.
I love that you're breathing this in too, Karen. I feel safe and it feels like,
I mean, I just keep going back to peace. It's a
I
big
go
word
to
for me.
home. I feel
Home.
safe and it
Okay.
feels like home.
Yep.
I feel safe and it feels like you said love.
Right.
I feel safe and it feels like tenderness. I feel safe and it feels like harmony. Keep doing this until you completely run out. And don't you feel more uplifted?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can do this yourself. Find the sentence that you want to feel.
Right.
I feel safe. The other day I was doing this with somebody, and let me just look at it because I have the notes right here. I feel safe. It wasn't I feel safe. It was, maybe it was. Um, oh, where is
You
it?
guys that are listening, I want to hear. I see that there's a bunch of you online here. I want to know what you're thinking now about this. Do you feel unsafe and
Yeah, feeling
being
safe
more
is,
safe,
you
being
can't even
seen?
heal until you feel safe.
Right.
So we have to get to safe first. This one was I have all the energy I need and want, and it feels like vital, healthy, creative, flow, a relief. Yeah, I mean, you could just go on and on with this. I'm ready to feel more capable and energized. So when you're seeing this, when you're feeling this, you allow yourself to have that and feel into it, because can I just, have I said feelings enough? Have I said emotions enough today so that you
Right. Right.
understand that your healing comes from your feelings and your emotions?
Right.
You can't separate them. So
Right.
when you tell a child, "Oh, don't cry," you're putting the damper on them right there. So has anybody
Right.
told you that? Don't feel that way. Don't cry. Don't show anybody how you feel. Don't hold it all in. It's just total crap. And it's against everything that we know in neurology and physiology. Holding your emotions in, they will come out some other way. And, we all deal with things that aren't working the way they're supposed to, like you're talking about your knees, and I'm having blood sugar issues. That's all about stuff that happened to me is when I was young. And
Right.
that's all coming home to roost, and COVID. But,
Right.
you know,
Right.
which changed a lot of things for people.
Yeah.
A lot of physiology got changed
So
because of that.
if you are like doing a podcast interview, or you
Mhm.
are going to record some reels for your business, or you're going to be, whatever it is, and you're feeling a little, and listen, we want to feel a little nervous before we do this, right? Because if we're so comfortable doing it, that we're not pushing ourselves enough, right? That's a great exercise to do, the I feel
Mhm.
safe, because it can help put you in that space. Because regardless of what you have in front of you, the script or whatever,
Right.
the people that are going to ultimately watch whatever this is, the interview, the reel, whatever, can feel the energy behind it.
Yeah.
The
So before I
energy
do
enters the room
this,
before you do,
yeah. So
right?
before I do this with Karen, I'm here going, oh, this is going to be so much fun. I love talking to Karen, but she's so nice. I love her. She has so many good ideas. I love her energy. I love being around her. These are the things that I'm saying. And I'm going, oh, and we'll probably talk about this and we'll probably talk about that. And won't that be fun to talk about? It's just me pre-paving the way of what I want to have happen.
Right.
When I'm
Right.
doing something and I'm putting it out there, I don't always do this. Sometimes I just get a great idea and I start doing it.
Right.
But I really
Right.
need to like stop and go, okay, where are you at? Okay, take a deep breath and let's let this really happen. Let's be here now. Let's be present. I just did a gig on Sunday, and one of my fans showed up. When my dad first came to live here, he's like, the same people keep showing up at your shows. And I say, yeah, Dad, those are called fans. He goes, you have fans? I'm like, yeah.
Just like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, just like Bruce, but not the same. So one of my fans showed up and I said, I'm so glad you're here. Your presence is a gift. Just being with someone is a gift.
Yes.
And that's,
Yes.
when we're sending stuff out to people, I have to like stop myself because I'll just go off half cocked. I'm one of those people. Well, we're Sagittarians, so we jump in the pool before we see if it's cold or not.
Right. Right. Right.
I did that this morning, as a matter of fact. But what happens is, when we prepare ourselves and we let that right energy lead, then there's nothing we have to be afraid of, because spirit is with us. And I have a lot of experience allowing spirit to drive me forward. I wanted to go to massage school. Oh, there's a massage school a few blocks away.
But we have to
I want
listen.
go to
we can. Spirit's always leading us somewhere. We have to be listening for that.
All
right?
are chosen. Many don't decide to go.
Right. Right. So Tanya, before we did this interview, I spent some time thinking like, okay, I'm going to turn this around a little bit and I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm going to ask not just Tanya, but I'm going to ask everybody listening to this, whether you're listening to us live. If you're listening to us live, I'd love you to throw this in the comments of Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this. But if you're listening to this on the podcast, wherever you're listening, you can either email this to me or DM this to me on LinkedIn, or you can go to KarenYankovich.com/speakpipe and leave me a message there. Like it's pretty hard to not find a way to communicate with me. I have a question for you. If your body could talk about your business right now, what would it say?
If my body could talk about my business.
And I want everybody thinking about what the answer to that question is, because it's important. Your body is talking about it to your business, right? But if your body is talking about your business right now, what's it saying?
My body is saying, you're doing so much right. Why are you concentrating on the things that you're not doing? It would say, you're doing so much right.
I love that.
You're doing so much right. I went to water aerobics this morning. And I love going because I love being in the water. It's my favorite medium to be in. And
both Jersey girls and Jersey Shore girls, by the way.
Yeah. I grew up on Long Beach Island, so I'm used to being in the water. I like the salt water, though. The chlorine water is not my favorite, but I deal with what I have.
I get that. Not a lot of salt water in Iowa.
I feel like it would tell me that, yeah, you're doing a lot right. And for the challenges that I'm having, it's like, go back and look at where that's coming from. So I'm doing map on myself, because it can take you in all kinds of directions. It goes through lots of different levels of healing and of mind structures that we have in place. And so I'm allowing it to lead me wherever I need to go. I'll just say this about that. When I was going through the stillbirth of our child, one of the things that happened to me was I was lying in the hospital bed, and this thought came into my head. And the thought was, do you really believe everything happens to the highest good? Or are you just saying that? And I thought, okay, let me see if I really believe that. And
you take your deepest, darkest moments in time, and then you challenge yourself even further.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it was just like, can you find the good here? And asking it as a question is very powerful.
Yeah.
And so I went, okay, let me go down the road of, this isn't to the highest good. Well, that was really sad and really bad.
Right.
And very dark. And then I went, okay, I'm going to believe that everything happens to the highest good. So show me the good. And when you continue to look for the good in things, miracles happen. You keep continuing to look for the good, even in a situation like that, which everyone says, oh, that's the hardest thing you'll ever go through. And I'm like, maybe it is. But at the time, I'm like, just teach me what I need to learn, because this is a learning situation. Everything that happens in your life is for you to learn. So are you going to hold back the learning, or are you going to grow and learn? And I decided to grow and learn because that's who I am.
That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. Whether you've experienced a loss like Tanya did, or or other types of
yeah, it doesn't matter how big the loss is.
Right. Or other types of trauma. I mean, Tanya, I'll talk about the time a few years ago where I was like running my business, but also supporting my partner and my mom and my kids. And I was like, literally thought I was going to lose my mind. Like, I just couldn't pull myself out of it. And I was like, who can help me with this? I'm like, Tanya can help me with, let me see if Tanya can help me with this. And I reached out to Tanya, and I'm like, I need help. Like, I need help.
Yeah.
I need to take care. I don't know how to take care of me in this, and I know that I have to take care of I know that at this moment in time, I'm choosing to take care of all these other people, but I can't take care of them if I don't figure out how to pull myself.
And listen, yeah, and it's not that difficult. You just need somebody that knows what they're doing, like me, who's been through this and understands what loss does. And by the way, grief is not a punishment. The wisdom that comes from a heart that's broken open is huge. Let the wisdom come from that broken heart. It's okay. You have to keep telling yourself sometimes, and you need some outside source to also tell you it's okay.
Right.
Because we can see what's going on the outside, and you're on the inside.
Right.
And so when we see those things happening, it's easy for us to say, okay, I want you to come over here. I don't call myself a coach. I call myself a healer, because I'm the GPS for people to heal. Turn right, turn left, go forward. This is how we do healing.
And a lot of the things I learned from you, Tanya, I still use. So that's why I think it's so important that we learn these techniques. If somebody's listening to this and they're like, all right, I hear you. I know that I need a little bit of GPS support. Tell us a little bit about how you work with people.
Well, the first thing I usually do is do an intuitive energy scan. And that's where I'm scanning your energy. And I'm looking at chakras in particular. The 7 major chakras all have characteristics that they share with each other. And also when we have them, when we can look at them and see, I can get information from them, and then you can corroborate it or not. It's fine. But it gives us a starting point. Like, you know what, your 3rd chakra, that solar plexus chakra, is just very pale and it needs some strengthening. And that's where we have our self-esteem. And so what do we need to build the self-esteem up? And then we go into doing one of those techniques that I mentioned, and I have several more that I use. And I'm asking the body, mind, spirit, your body, mind, spirit, what is it that you want? Because I can guess all day, but why not just ask? Right. Ask the source of all that is, that's within every living cell, every molecule, every atom, and all the space in between. Why not ask that? What's going to work for you today? Is it MAP? Is it BEST? Is it theta healing? Is it chakra balancing? What do we need to do? Do we just need to have a conversation? What do we need to do for you today that's going to help you? What tools can I teach you? Is it 4-count breathing? Is it Empower March? What can I teach you that will help you? Is it magnetization? What's going to help? And I'm asking through muscle testing with your superconscious running the show.
Why is that important for me? Why do I want that?
Because if you want to feel centered and you want to come from a place of strength and power, because you have power, if you want to come from that place and send out what you want to people, that's the best. It's when you're scattered and trying to plug every hole in the dike, you can't do it and also put out a responsible and targeted message to people.
Right.
So it's really important for people to understand that the loss and the grief that they've suffered in their life is a doorway to deeper healing. And that deeper healing will show up in your bank account. It really will.
Right.
Because when you're focused and you're in your power and you're using your power for your highest good, which is good for everyone, that's not selfish. That's
Right.
compassion.
Right.
When you fill yourself with self-compassion, it overflows to everybody naturally.
And then it just feels good to be
Yeah.
working, to do what we're doing, right? As opposed to
Yeah.
constantly stressing to do all this stuff, right? You're doing it. You're coming. If you, I mean, we know this, right? We've experienced how,
Mhm.
and maybe I'll equate this to whatever. Well, maybe not, but I'll when everything is just rocking and rolling, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
And we know sometimes when it's not rocking and rolling and we don't know how to get it rocking and rolling. We're like, what? Like yesterday I woke up and everything was great. And today I woke up and I just can't put one foot in front of the other and not trip. Right. Like, so we know how much better it feels to feel good as we're moving forward and to run our businesses and to support the people in our lives. And when we don't know when we don't have tools to help us stay in that. I mean, you're going to have moments where you're tripping over your feet. It's going to happen,
Sure, everybody has
the
it.
tool, but having a tool to know how to maybe bring you back to that place
Keep coming
is
back.
what we're missing. Is what we're missing, and that doesn't have to be antibiotics or whatever. It can be like a tool. And that's what I love that you teach. So you have these intuitive energy scans. How else do you work with people?
The intuitive energy scan is the way we start. It's the exam for your energy. And then we go into either the 90-day accelerated healing program or the 7-month path to joyful purpose, depending on what the person really feels like they need. So a lot of times people go from the 90-day accelerated healing into the path to joyful purpose. Now, when we do that, there's a session, individual session in the 90-day every week for 3 weeks in a row for 3 months in a row.
Right.
So there's 9 individual sessions. In between those, there's videos that you can watch. I don't do a lot of video teaching because it doesn't land on people as well as when we're actually in together like this. Now we're in real time. We're talking about it. So I'm on call for those people. They can text me anytime. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. So when we're doing that, we're doing one-on-one healing. We also do group healing too. When there's enough people to get together, we do group healings once a month. And that way people know that there's others like them. They can share their experience, and people have very similar experiences. So it feels like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm going through something and I'm not by myself doing this.
And you talked about, the patient that you have or the client that you have that is experiencing cancer. And obviously that's amazing that you can help people like that. I can tell you that I'm blessed that I have not had to experience that, but I find that I benefit from the work you do because it allows me to be there for those people in my life that are experiencing cancer and things like that. Right. So like spending a couple months with you to bring myself to the place where I can understand how to help myself also helps all the people that I'm helping. Right. So that's to me so valuable in the work you do. And, we work so hard on learning, training, and we pay all this money for college, and we take courses, and we pay for VAs and marketing. And it took me a really long time to understand that investing in myself was the number one way to create the business and the life that I wanted to have. It
really is. I mean, there isn't anything, it's like I do a lot of professional development myself. I have to do CEUs every 2 years. I'm trying to get all of them in before June 30th. And so I can stay licensed in my field. And also, learning new techniques it's really important because there's so much cutting edge stuff that's going on out there. People always ask me, oh, have you read this person? Have you read that person? I'm like, no, I do that stuff. That's what I'm doing. So if you start asking me about these other healers who are writing about what they're doing, I'm not writing about it. I'm actually doing it with people. Sometimes I write about it, and you'll see I have lots of content on all the platforms right now. Well, almost all of them, but there's only so much.
Connect with Tanya on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's
you can find me on LinkedIn. There's stuff there. I have a YouTube channel. I have multiple Facebook pages. There's Healing with the Blues. There's Quantum Healing International. There's my personal page. And I also have a private group called Healing with the Blues that is on Facebook, and that's where I put a lot of live things that I do too. I think it's important for people to remember that they're their number one priority. I say, if you're not the queen in your life and somebody else is, that's a problem. Because if you're not the queen in your life, who is? You have to make yourself the most important. You're the only one that's in there. Nobody else can get in there and do it for you. Unfortunately, you can't pay somebody to make you healthy. You have to make you healthy.
Right. Right. Tanya, I think that's a great way to wrap this. If you're not, you need to be the queen of your life. I think you need to buy crowns and send them to your clients.
I used to do that.
I want a crown. Okay. So Tanya, thank you so much for hanging here with me today. I love doing these live. I love, if remember every Wednesday at noon Eastern, I'm here live on LinkedIn with Good Girls Get Rich, the Conversations. It's a show that I really wanted to do so that we could be more interactive, so that my audience can jump into the conversation should they choose to. But we're also, this will be also live on our podcast RSS feed. It'll in all the places. So if you love this episode, subscribe to Good Girls Get Rich at goodgirlsgetrich.com. It'll list you all the places you can find it, or find us on your favorite podcast player. And if you love this conversation, share it on your LinkedIn, share it on your social media, tag me, tag Tanya. We'll be happy to share it with our networks, because that's how we all build these beautiful, powerful, healthy networks together, right? By just lifting each other up. So I would love for you to do that. Write a review, check out Tanya's YouTube channel. All the links will be in the show notes that go along with this episode. And Tanya, thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thanks, Karen. And when I come east, we're going to that gem store together.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Absolutely. You keep threatening that we're going to get together.
I know.
Somehow we never make it happen when you're east, but we're going to do it one of these days. Maybe this summer we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you back here next week for another episode of Good Girls Get Rich, the Conversations. Thanks again, Tanya.